Good evening, John Glenn, parents and guardians. My name is Mr. Berto. Everybody says Mr. Berto, but it's actually pronounced Berto. I had to pronounce it the correct way, otherwise I'm afraid my father's going to come running in here and yell and scream at me for pronouncing my name incorrectly. This is the Meet the Teacher Night video for Advanced Placement Calculus AB. Interesting virtual Meet the Teacher Night in this the year of uncertainty. Start by sharing my screen here. Something that I had no idea how to do 6 months ago. And we've all had to learn about this technology real quick. And, I like to think that I've been getting better and better at it. Good thing is I teach intelligent students. I could just ask your son or daughter if I don't know how to do something, they could help me out. You obviously know about my website here. Okay, if you didn't, then you wouldn't have been able to click on a YouTube video that I'm recording right now. So the link is not posted yet, but obviously it will be right here. Please also fill in the Google form. It's just to sign in for attendance so I know who watched the video. And also, if you have any questions, you may fill out this Google form down here. If you want the syllabus, okay, if you go to Advanced Placement Calculus AB on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of things. First off, this is where I used to post homework and, test dates. All that is obviously done on Google Classroom now. Here's the Google Classroom code. And my Remind, okay, please try to get your son or daughter on my Remind account. Very important, okay, for when I do announcements and things like that. I normally announce the, tests and things like that on Google Classroom as well, but Remind, not a bad tool to have as well. There's also, I don't have it posted here yet. It's posted in my classroom and I posted on Google Classroom for students to join AP Classroom, okay, so that they're actually able to register for the advanced placement exam. And they also have to make a total registration account, and that's what will allow you to pay for the advanced placement exam. Wouldn't want to not have to spend that money, right? If you actually scroll down through a bunch of different assignments, you'll see the only Microsoft Word one. That's the AP Calc Syllabus. Okay, so you can open that up there. Pause if you need to. I won't open it there because I don't have Microsoft Word on this laptop. Here, Nate, I'll open it up in Google Classroom. Google Classroom, this is what your students can see. Okay, my students, your sons or daughters. The materials posted every day, normally the day before at 2 p.m. That's what I've been trying to do. So just like an example, I don't know, pop in here. Okay, that's the day that I'm absent. So that's not great. Okay, what a terrible example right there. So maybe this one. Okay, yeah, it'll tell you the ditto to download and what the homework is. Okay, try to download these dittos. Okay, I know it's annoying to download and print these dittos. Okay, printers especially, ink is expensive. Sometimes printers just absolutely refuse to work. I'm going to the syllabus here because I handed it out the first day. But try to have your students prepared, my students, your sons and daughters prepared with the work for the day, the ditto for the day. I do have hard copies that I will hand out in class. Okay, the problem is if it's a virtual day, Thursday and Friday, those cohort A students are not in school. But when they come back in school on Monday, I will actually have hard copies available for them in the back of the classroom. Okay, it's all set up, should be pretty easy to follow. So if printing is an issue, I'm trying to help the students out and have these materials available. There's enough, that they have to worry about this year. Hopefully that's something makes things a little bit easier. To the course, Advanced Placement Calculus AB. We also offer the BC curriculum this year as well. Some people are like, oh, well, AB, that's an easy class. No, extremely difficult. Okay, it's just as intense as BC. The only difference is that it covers 25% less material, so I don't have to move quite as fast, okay? But we actually get into things just as deep, so make no mistake, it's an extremely demanding course, as it says right here. Really, the main prep is obviously for the advanced placement exam, but for any calculus, any math that students want to do in the future, before you even start on a math degree, you have to, in most colleges, take calculus 1, 2, and 3. This is Calc 1 and half of Calc 2 in this course, okay? So it's a very, intense course right here. Students want to be organized, okay? Like I said, I do give out those dittos, or hopefully they'll be printing dittos. The ones I do give out are all hole punched, okay? Great way to organize the work is to have a 3-ring binder. If it rings during class, don't pick it up. But terrible joke. I suggested students get a 3-ring binder before they install the plastic, germ guards on each seat. So it's kind of hard to open up the 3-ring binder, but they could always take out a piece of paper, and then write on it, then put it in the binder. It's great because then you could have your dittos after it. You want to be very organized in an advanced placement course. And I also told students this year, they've been shortchanged enough as far as education is concerned with this pandemic here. We're not going to have it any further, okay? I really believe that we can get through the curriculum I need to get through in here as long as the students are willing to be just a little bit more responsible than perhaps they've been in the past. I mean, it's an advanced placement course. Students should be responsible anyway. But really, when I hand out homework in here, when I hand out homework dittos, I've always had the homework answers right there with the homework ditto. If that, tells your son or daughter they don't have to do homework, that's a problem. Okay. They really do have to, bite down and get that homework done in this class. Okay. It's so important from one day's lesson to the next, because whatever we do one day, we're most likely going to be using it the next day. We really build things in here. Okay. And that's why attendance as well. Okay. Do not be absent to this course. I'm not going to scream it out and scare everybody out there, but I can be quite loud in the classroom sometimes when I want to. Is actually nicer than the past, because if a student is not feeling well, I believe they're still allowed to log on virtually and get the lesson that way. I think you do need to call the main office before that is done. Otherwise, some kids go, oh, I woke up late. I'll just log on virtually. No, okay, the days they're supposed to be here, they are supposed to be in class. But I believe you let the attendance, woman know, then she'll actually send me an email, okay, and then I'll know that to look for your son or daughter on virtual instruction that day. So that's actually great. Attendance, it's a building block course, okay, just like homework, same exact thing. No homework grade in this course, okay? If your son or daughter wants to sit around and not do homework, well, they're going to learn that that's not going to be viable as far as getting through this curriculum and doing well in this class is concerned. That's something that they'll have to deal with in college as well. There won't be professors collecting homework, and this is a college level course, and I want them to really learn that responsibility that they need for next year. Even if they're not get a major or anything that's specifically math based, just the critical thinking they learn in here, the responsibility, if they take anything out of this class, is to work hard. Okay. And if you can work hard, you can achieve anything that you want, all your hopes and dreams. I tell the students this all the time. I try to. There will be tests, quests, there'll be assignments in this class. Assignments, I used to always say, I'll work on them together. Okay. It's a great way to pad your average. Well, I don't know with the social distancing, if we want that happening this year, but students could always FaceTime one another. Okay. They could do a Zoom meeting, stuff like that. And they've, pretty good with this technology. Okay. So stuff like that, I have no problem with. There will still be tests and quests. There's no strictly virtual learners in this class. So I'm focused on doing testing in class. And, that's tough, because that means now I'm going to lose 2 days, right? I'm going to have to, test cohort A on one day and then test cohort B on the subsequent day. There might even be a day in between, okay, where we have to start working on something else. I'll try to swap that so it's not always cohort A taking the test first, then followed by cohort B. Cohort A, when they're taking the test, cohort B, make sure you still log on virtually, and I will take attendance that way. Then I'll most likely allow them to log off and study for the test. It's going to be, a couple days later for them. And then when cohort B is taking the test, cohort A has to log on virtually. Obviously, I won't give them an assignment to study for the test, because they'll have already done something like that. Tell them to work on the previous night's homework, or just to look through the things that we've done in that chapter that we're having the test for, because all that stuff is going to be used in the next chapter. It's what's so beautiful about calculus, really a building block type of curriculum there. And the testing is important, and believe me, I really believe we can make up these days. I do. Okay. I wouldn't say that if I didn't think so. They need to learn the pacing. Okay, the pacing of the AP exam. They already learned last year what it's like to not have a calculator, and the pacing of the AP exam, not having a calculator. There are literally questions set up that don't seem so terrible at first, and people are like, oh, I know how to do this. I know how to set it up. But just the work required to go through that problem. They're purposely trying to trick you into taking up too much time on that problem before you move on to subsequent problems. So we'll talk more and more about testing as the year goes on. But that's part of the curriculum, that actual pacing that students need to do when they're testing. So that's why I really want to get that in there. Once again, it's the year of uncertainty. Okay, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen. We might do some, virtual testing as well. When we do virtual testing, I do ask that hopefully the students can sit at, hopefully a table with a nice flat surface, so they could take the Chromebook camera, angle it down, okay, so that they're actually able to see what they're doing, okay, both their hands on there, and maybe they have their phone turned over, okay, and there's no calculator, no funny business going on, okay. You'll try to regulate that as much as possible. So as far as the grading policy, that's still going to be the same, okay? And it's a year where things are different, okay? So if your son or daughter feels, anxious about that or having trouble with this, have them send me a remind, have them send me an email, okay? We can get through this, and they can certainly be the much better for it. And really, they're expecting the College Board to have the AP exam to really have no changes in it. If there are quarantines and things like that, will they cut out curriculum? That's really remains to be seen. But I really do feel, even through virtual instruction, okay, that we can get your son or daughter where they need to be. Okay, so that's my focus this year. I've been teaching this course for 11 years, so I do know what I'm doing in here. Like I said before, please reach out if you have a problem. You can always email me. You can give me a phone call. All that information available on my website. So now I'll stop presenting my screen and I'll end this video. Okay, so hopefully that was informative for you. I don't know how terrible I look with the lighting in here and everything, because normally I'm quite a good looking young man. So please fill out that form if you have any questions, okay, or feel free to email me or anything like that, and we'll go on from there. So I want you to have a pleasant evening, and I hope everyone is safe and healthy and happy, and have a good night.